Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Why, hello there. Welcome to Bwaaa, King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Hey, Rusty, we're doing something a little different. We're doing something called That Ain't Right.
That ain't right. So this is going to be a chat segment, guys, where we just discuss different stuff related to King of the Hill.
We
or whatever.
have been told that we don't talk about our love of King of the Hill enough. And so let's do that.
All right. So throughout the week, I stumbled across this video, and it was a alternate ending explanation. So
Mike Dotree, right? He's the one
Jim Dotree.
Jim Dotree.
Jim
That's what I
Dotree.
meant. Sorry.
So there's a big group on Facebook. I can't remember the name of it exactly, but it's a King of the Hill group, and there happens to be a lot of producers and people that are attached to the show in a big way that are in this group. And they share stuff, historical stuff about the show all the time in there. Well, Jim Dotree posted a cell phone video of an alternate ending. And Mike, it's kind of a weird alternate ending, and I'm glad it never made it because it would just ruin the continuity of the show as it is. So in this clip,
I love this kind of stuff, though.
I like it just for the sake of seeing something different, that you haven't seen that's created by these guys.
Yeah.
So in this clip, it shows Hank and the boys. They're standing outside, and it's actually the Luann and what's his name? Lucky wedding.
Yeah, Lucky.
And there's the guys are standing out there.
Yeah.
Bill, Boomhauer,
reflecting.
Dale, and they're reflecting over what they say is a year. So they look at Bobby burning down the church for the Lutefisk episode. They looked at a few of these different scenes, and they say, oh, well, this all happened within a year. So what they're saying is they're summing up the entire show up to this point, which is the 12th season, and they're saying this is the entire show, but it only exists in the realm of a year. And it goes on to kind of allude that Hank wasn't born in New York and things like that. So they retcon a bunch of stuff, and in retconning a bunch of stuff, they also allude to a couple of those things being dreams made up by Bill.
Bill stealing the tank.
That was a dream.
Yeah. Hank not being born in New York City. Several different things. And at the end of this episode, I'm going to play the audio from that alternate ending.
Okay.
So you guys can kind of listen to it if you
haven't heard it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like it, and the reason why I didn't like it, and I do like it and I don't like it. I like it because it's, like I said, it's new original content that I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's found content.
Yeah, it's newfound content, which is cool. And I love when producers and executives and people that have to do with shows release these little things that are just sitting in a drawer somewhere at home. Mm-hmm. And so the thing that I don't like about it is that if this becomes canon when they release the new, whenever the new show comes out, it kind of it might ruin it.
Nah.
Like if you bring Cotton back at this point, Cotton has to be
Here's the thing, though,
old.
man.
Here's
the thing.
He fought in World War II.
That's why you do animation. You do animation because you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, you can, but King of the Hill, I don't think King of the Hill is that kind of show where they do whatever the hell they want. They kind of,
I don't know,
it's
dude.
not as far out as like The Simpsons.
Peggy fell out of that plane. She should have been
Family Guy. She should have been dead, but there's people that have survived. Like it's stories that are believable and things that have happened. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a slice of life, more real show.
Sure. And I think part of the thing that they reference in this alternate ending is they were trying to get rid of some of that over the top stuff, like the stealing of the tank and all that kind of thing.
And some of the things that I'd researched about it was that even Mike Judge didn't really like some of the show, some of the not that he didn't like the writing, he just didn't like the premise of the show or the plot line or whatever it is.
Like it was so
especially the tank one. He thought that one was far fetched kind of thing, kind of a far out idea.
Yeah.
And you got to think that it was a tumultuous time too when some of these episodes came out. You got to think of Columbine and stuff like that when some of these episodes came out was after that. So there might be some retrospect to where they were trying to clean it up a little bit and tidy the whole show up and put it in a package to where the actual episode that you get where Hank and Bobby cook steak together.
Well, I think at this
doesn't really have a lot of pizzazz to that episode being that it went to syndication, which sucked.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
The last four episodes of it, they cut the show.
Well, I think at this point they were already in syndication, right? Yeah. So the reruns were being shown everywhere, and like you say, they just hard stopped it with
the last four episodes before you get the sirloin or whatever.
Sirloin with love. Kind of parodying the To Sir with Love, the Sidney Poitier movie.
Yeah.
It's a real sweet ending. But again, I've told you this before. I always felt like Lucky's Wedding Suit was the end of the series, and then something happened. And
it
now,
was. So they were kind of waiting. Because, I think what happened was that they were already been told that they might not be renewed at this point.
This is 11 seasons in too. So I mean, it was
12. I think,
this was a long way.
I think it was 12.
I thought he said at the end of the 11th season.
I don't know. It might be.
Either way, they got
whatever.
renewed, and so they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're doing the show again." But they had already made this alternate ending. They figured, screw it, this is the way we're going to end this thing. But they got the news before Lucky's Wedding Suit came on air, and then they were able to bring it back.
Yeah. Shout out to Jim Dotry. We appreciate you sharing that with the internet.
But like you said, there are 4 episodes after, or what we thought were
the
after
final. Yeah,
Sirloin with Love.
In season 13, they got a hard stop.
But the one where Khan gets off his medication, I have never been a big fan of that episode. But that is one of them. That is one of them.
That was a kind of weird one. Those last 4 episodes to me are a little
feels like an
odd.
after-school special.
Yeah, they're a little odd. So the 13th and final season, its actual run was September 28th to September 13th.
Yeah.
But before they made it to September 13th, that was like I said, they hard stopped it. So 4 of the episodes actually didn't premiere until the next year, in May 3rd, May 6th. They premiered them in syndication, which is really weird for a show. Like, I don't know of any shows that I've ever been a fan of that have a weird stop like that, where they have those 4 episodes and they push them into syndication, which is really, I wonder how syndicated it is and what all countries get it and what varieties of King of the Hill. So I did see a video clip, which I'll send to you later, of King of the Hill in Spanish.
Oh yeah.
So instead of Peggy being a horrible Spanish teacher, in this one, she's a horrible English teacher.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I kind of, because I have the DVDs, so I could go back and I could watch it in different languages and stuff like that. I'm going to go through and see if I could see how many different languages they have on the DVD, actually.
I love
and
that.
run through some of them and get some content to talk about. But
that's really cool. So I always felt like Lucky's Wedding Suit was the end of the series, because when I went back to rewatch it,
was a cleaner feel to it.
Everybody is there. One of the things that about that episode is there's a bunch of characters that you haven't seen in forever that all show up to Hank's yard, where they have the wedding. And
yeah,
then,
it's like a odd assortment. It's like some of the one-off characters that you know
Mhm.
that you rarely ever see at all.
And then they get in Lucky's truck and they drive literally like 2 houses down and turn into the driveway.
Right into the driveway.
Yeah, it's really fantastic.
Yeah, I love it.
I always thought, man, that would have been a perfect ending, and I guess it was.
It was the
supposed to be
perfect ending,
One of the
and that was the thing is because like I said, they had been told they were going to be canceled after
Yeah.
that season, and
one of the
so
coolest
they made
things
sure to have
is the
final episode.
reference to the way the series started at the end of this alternate ending, where the mosquito comes down, bites Hank on the back of the neck, and then flies away, and you see the water tower.
The Forrest Gump, you know that I like that particular cinematic shot because it's done in a lot of movies. And It's done before the Forrest Gump, but just that particular cinematic shot where you have the camera's focal point on one object and the object floats or flies in or whatever. I always really like, and then with the piano playing and all that, I always really like those scenes in movies.
Yeah,
because it takes you.
You called it the Zemeckis shot.
Yeah, the Zemeckis shot. It takes you like out of the. It's like you're like when you're in the show and you're watching the show, you're with the characters and you're moving with the characters, and when you kind of pan out, you get kind of like a bird's eye view of.
There's a lot of movies that do that. They start with that bird's eye view, come down, tell a story, and then fly back out. And I always feel like that's just that slice of life, like you're saying. You know, you're with these characters for a little bit of time, then you go on.
Yeah, and that's what it is. That's what it feels like.
Cool. Yeah.
And I wish and I hope that this time, whenever they come back, which they at this point, it's really just it's gotta happen. It's gotta be happening. It's got to. And when it does, this Friday episode will probably be those episodes.
Yeah.
But when it does happen, I feel like they have to maintain the continuity of what we've seen. So that alternate ending shouldn't exist anymore. Now, like I feel like whenever they end the new reboot, whenever they end it, they need to end it with the continuity intact and end it in a way that does justice to the entire body of work. Not just does justice to the reboot, but also does justice to what we've already seen.
Yeah,
for 13
I mean, I agree with what you're saying.
Because we never got a finality. We never got the ending that it deserved.
Yeah.
Come on, they cut it off 4 episodes, and through 4 episodes in syndication for the Cleveland show, which failed after like 4 years.
I can't imagine that this King of the Hill reboot will be a long running series.
I don't see it as being like a decade-long series like it was, but I see it being a fairly lengthy ordeal.
I don't know. I
would love to see it go for 5
I
or
would
10
too.
years.
I would too. That's great. But I figure they do another 10 episodes to kind of put a cap on this thing and give it the send off that it really deserved.
You think that's all they'll do? No, I think they'll do more than that. I think if they,
be a few.
I think there'll be more than that. Well, because you got to think with Beavis and Butthead, this is the 3rd time now they brought Beavis and Butthead around.
Yeah.
So they had a huge chunk of Beavis and Butthead in 2011. Around that time, I was in my early 20s, they had a bunch of reboot of Beavis and Butthead. So I don't know. I don't see it out of the realm of possibility for it going, at least for, a few seasons. I just don't see them going through the effort to revive it just to run it for 10 episodes and be done.
I don't know, man. Cash does a lot of things.
Because what they're going to do is they're going to do...
You can't tell me that this
they'll give you the first
Beavis
3
and Butthead
episodes.
is not about cash.
This newest Beavis and Butthead is art. It is fine art. The reaction videos. No, it's fine art. It definitely is. It's definitely fine art. I think it's fine art. I think it should be in the Louvre. Like any type of comedy like this should be in the Louvre because it's just so simple. It's just like
maybe the Smithsonian, but not the Louvre.
Teenage jackasses just being like it reminds me of my friend just sitting there like, oh, he said but, oh, you know what I mean? Like when you're that age, it's just those dumb things are funny, and it takes you back to early Greek comedy, potty humor.
You think this is early Greek comedy, huh?
All of comedy that we appreciate it goes back to Greek comedy, tragedy, and in life,
right,
all that kind of stuff.
No, I'm looking forward to a reboot, but seeing this alternate ending, I love this kind of stuff.
I like it too. It's like an inside eye,
Yeah, I watched a ton of TV in my life, and series finales are always a big deal for me. We just went through the Better Call Saul series finale, which was fantastic. But I am of the ilk that I want series finales to end. I want series to end one of two ways. I want either everybody to blow up and everything to be destroyed. So that's final as final can get.
Yeah, upended.
Or I want that slice of life kind of thing where we fly back out of their lives.
Yeah.
One of the ones that ended that way was Cheers. Cheers
is
one of my
one,
favorite endings, where Sam goes to the door, says, "Oh, no, we're closed," pulls the blind down, show's over.
Show's over.
And so everybody's still there. Everybody keeps doing what they were doing. It's still the same show that
Frasier.
you know. Well, that's different, but still.
Actually,
Frasier's
I have a
getting a reboot.
connection to Frasier, which is funny.
Really?
A family connection to Frasier.
Oh.
So his father, I think it's Frasier's dad,
Mhm.
is a British actor. And
I didn't realize he was British.
Yeah, I think it's his dad. I'm pretty sure it's his dad.
Yeah.
His dad is first cousins with my aunt's husband in England.
Oh, wow.
My family lives in England. And he's first or second cousins, pretty closely related to my uncle.
Well, that's
Not by
kinda cool.
blood or anything, but it's a little family connection.
It's still cool, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheers was one of those great endings, and they're rebooting Frasier, which I don't know about.
Friends had a pretty huge ending too.
What was Friends ending? I don't even remember.
Don't know. Didn't watch much of it.
It was huge.
It was huge though.
Yeah,
I know
it
that.
was a huge
I only
ending.
know because whenever I look at TV ratings lists for final episodes and stuff like that, because I was
Yeah.
looking to see if King of the Hill had like TV ratings,
Yeah,
and it was pretty top
funny.
five.
It's funny to me here lately that
the Waltons too. That was a big one.
you know, TV is not what it used to be, where we don't have like that appointment TV and stuff anymore. You know, it used to be that you had to record things at certain times, otherwise you'd miss it for the next year.
No, it's instant.
They didn't run reruns, you know, for a very long
It's
time.
instant.
You didn't get movies on TV until years and years later. I remember when Gone with the Wind first came on TV; it was a huge deal.
Well, a lot of these streaming apps are kind of going into a similar model of TV where you'll get like 2 episodes, because remember you used to have the 2-hour season premiere
sure.
of whatever show,
Sure.
so you'd get 2 episodes back to back of that show.
Right.
Well, they're doing that on streaming now. So with Beavis and Butthead, they released the first episode or 2 episodes
It was 2,
the
yeah.
day of, and then now every Thursday
Right.
they release a new episode.
Well, what I was going to say though is like it's funny to me that TV is not what it used to be, and we've got all these different streaming apps, and TV seems to be
It's
all
huge.
over the place. But when big things happen, people still do it all at the same time. So
Yeah.
the ending of Better Call Saul was one of the biggest days that AMC has ever had
Yeah.
as far as viewing goes.
Yeah, it's always an ending. MASH's ending was huge.
This also the premiere of the new
Season.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, the Game of Thrones
series,
show,
House of
yeah.
Dragons. It was the biggest thing that HBO's seen in a very, very long
Very
time.
long time.
It was like half the country was watching it or something.
Yeah, it was.
I have yet to see.
Oh,
it.
it's huge. I've yet to see it too.
But
I will see it though. That's one I will watch.
That makes my heart kind of swell, because it makes me think back to old TV when everybody would watch everything
Yeah.
at the same time.
Everybody.
you know? And then
Hundreds
the
of
next
millions of
day-
people watching the exact
The only
same
thing
show.
you can really compare it to is the Super Bowl. You know,
Yeah,
that's really
that's it.
one of the only times that
Sporting
we as
events
a
is the only
nation-
thing that you get like that nowadays.
we as a
and the
nation still
Olympics
get
are
together.
opening up into a bigger
But
like
see-
view, and that's the thing is their viewership died out for a lot
Yeah.
of years, where it was like
Yeah.
the older generations that were watching them, but the younger people are starting to get into them now, so their ratings are starting to go up too because
Mm-hmm.
of the accessibility. Is like the accessibility for all this media has changed.
Sure.
So now, whenever you watch the Olympics, you don't have to wait. You don't have to. Oh man, I need to be there at 4 o'clock
4
to catch
a.m.,
this guy
yeah.
skiing at 4 a.m. Now you could wake up in the morning.
Sure.
Every competition every bit of footage is available to you.
I
and you
agree
could
with all
choose
that.
what you want to watch too. So whatever, like say you have 5 events at once that are going on.
Right.
Well, I want to watch this particular event that's not
Yeah.
as popular as
Yeah.
this event. You can
No,
go-
used to
go
you
watch
would
it.
just one at a time, and they would go back and forth.
And it would be
But-
whatever the popular event was. You wouldn't get to see like the odd stuff that's fun to watch.
The thing about the Super Bowl, though, it is a single game.
Yeah, that's it, one game.
single time when everybody's eyes are
Yeah.
on the same thing. When you talk about the Olympics, you talk about NBA finals, you talk about the World Series, stuff like that. It's several showings, right? Several
Yeah.
different things going on. the Super Bowl is unique in
Oh,
the fact that it
huge.
is everybody watching the same
It
thing at the same time.
also creates the largest call-in day
Oh, sure.
for employers the Monday following, which is crazy. Just like not only to think that many people are watching the same thing at one time, but to think that many people are going to call in the next day as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everybody's drunk. Well, in the words of, what's his name, Buckley?
Yeah, Buckley.
I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say something is Buckley.
Well, that sounds like Buckley. That sounds good. Yeah, Buckley laughs.
You enjoyed this
so
ending.
yeah, you guys like this episode.
You like this ending.
So we hope that you guys appreciated this episode. If you guys like it, just let us know. If not, let us know too. So
let us know either way. Every once in a while,
it.
I would love to just do one of these where we just
Kinda
talk about an article, a
Yeah.
thing that happened in the King of the Hill universe or whatever, and just give you guys kind of a reflection on how we feel about it.
So in closing, if there's anything specific that you want us to discuss, send it to us.
Show ideas.
Anything
these
King of the
Friday
Hill
shows.
related, you could send us. You could send it to us at BWAAA. That's 3 A's KOTH on any social media. You could DM me. I respond to everything. As long as you're not a scammer, I'll respond to you.
You can also email us at bwaaakoth@roguemedianetwork.com.
Absolutely. I don't need graphic design work. I don't need to be promoted on a fake Atlantic Records website. So I don't need any of those kind of DMs. If you're DMing me, be an actual human being.
That's my day, is deleting all those.
I don't need to promote a DM. I'm not going to DM you.
Yeah.
I don't need. I do need help promoting. If you want to shamelessly self-promote,
you don't need graphic work.
I don't need any graphic work.
Huh.
Well, that's what it said. It said
There's a lot of guys out there that'll mix.
I got a message, and then I hate it when you say no, and they're like, "Well, fuck you, man." And I'm
it's kind of sucky.
I'm like, you asked me like employers don't drive around saying, "Hey, man, you need to work." You're like, "Hey, man, you need some work."
Yeah.
You apply to them.
It really sucks.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's the world of social media
The
and
way of the
electronic
world.
information.
It is, absolutely.
Well, guys, thank you again for joining us. Check us out on social media, or you can always get us at roguemedianetwork.com, and we will see you next time.
We Matanye.
We Matanye.
Bwaaa tries to fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas.
Yeah, I'll take it that by Luann is saying I do. Yeah. Then I pronounce Elroy Kleinschmidt and Luann Platter, man and wife. You may now kiss the bride.
Let's celebrate. Mr. Khan, I'll have a Mai Tai.
What is it, guys?
It's birdseed, dude.
Okay, and you throw it now. Oh, I got it! Connie, you drop that right now and wash your hands.
This is a blessed day. Now who wants to rock?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Little sister, what have you done? Hey, little sister, who's the only one?
Hey, man, it's our song.
Hold on, baby doll.
Come on, Bobby. Let's help him out.
Boy, I can't believe it was just a year ago that Luann's mama stabbed her daddy with a fork and she moved into our house. Feels like 10.
You know, when you think about it, it's a miracle we survived this year. We had a twister and a flood. We burned down the fire station. Bobby burned down our church.
Unless we forget the Megalomart blew up and killed Buckley and darn near killed you, Hank.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, man, that dang Chuck Mangione near about it too, man.
All I can say is at least we've got our health.
Yeah, if you don't count Hank's clogged colon and narrow urethra and vanishing ass.
Don't forget the time Hank went blind when he saw his mother making whoopee.
Ugh, let's talk about something else.
Remember that time I stole the tank from the army base?
That never happened. And I wasn't born in a bathroom at Yankee Stadium while Cotton tried to kill Castro with a blow dart.
Really?
Bill, those were all vivid dreams you had after you ate at that revolving Hungarian restaurant in McMainerberry.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Heck, I wish it was a dream when I got arrested for fishing with crack, or when Peggy had pictures of her feet taken for perverts, or when Bobby was a Husky Boy clothes model and then a Buddha.
And got gout.
Yeah, that boy ain't right, but he's a good kid. All in all, it's been a pretty good run this year, I tell you what.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.